Welcome to Thursday. It's May 8th, 2025. Your day weather podcast brought to you by ConverseCountyTourism.com. Feel the energy of Converse County. Explore Douglas's Railroad Heritage, Ayers Natural Bridge, and the Jackalope Legend. Glen Rock boasts scenic trails, dinosaur history, and small town charm. Plan your visit at ConverseCountyTourism.com. Well, big warm-up coming your way. So we're going to be looking at a lot of scenes like you're seeing there on the screen with the bee and the blooms as the upper level low weakens and heads east. That's going to allow high pressure and a southwest wind aloft building quickly. So temperatures are going to rebound. And boy, for some of you, summer-like temperatures are coming, especially for the Dakotas. You'll see that here in a moment. So it's going to be a nice Mother's Day weekend. We'll have a few thunderstorms. We really don't expect a lot of thunderstorm activity, but there'll be a few. There's one little catch on Mother's Day we'll highlight here in a moment for outdoor activities you'll need to be aware of. Now, next week, the pattern gets active again. We're going to see another system slide out of the Gulf of Alaska into the west coast. That will probably be followed up by another trough coming into the west the weekend after this one, the weekend of the 17th. So we'll have this big high pressure ridge come in, big warm up for a 4 to 5 day period. Then the weather cools off and gets more active again. Fresh snow on the mountain slopes, the western mountains of Wyoming, northern Wyoming, Montana, Idaho mountains, all getting significant spring snows here over the last week or two. So a lot of fresh white up high. Saw this yesterday across parts of the southern panhandle of Nebraska, northern Colorado, and southeastern Wyoming. Residual moisture caused some additional shower and thunderstorm activity to build up yesterday afternoon and evening. And some of you actually got more rain out of those showers yesterday than what you saw the last 2 days before it. Not over a large area, but they were good rain producers, and that led to a nice sunset out in eastern Laramie County yesterday. We showed you a rain-snow line in northern Wyoming yesterday. Here's one in southern Colorado. Southern Colorado getting some really, really good rain. And, as you can see, some snow in the foothills and mountains. We'll have two contrasting shots here on how the spring has gone, depending on where you are. We talked yesterday about the rain hole around the Cheyenne area and across portions of western Nebraska and eastern Wyoming. So you can see the lawns in around Cheyenne not really picking up, getting green yet. Of course, the rain will green up things a little bit by this weekend, but here's a study in contrast. Southeastern Wyoming looking like that. This is what it looks like in Wind River country around Lander. As you can see, all the green as the abundant precipitation in one area and the lack of other, giving you a big difference. In fact, if you were to drive this weekend across the western United States, you'll drive through lush, green, beautiful prairie and not so good looking brown prairie, just depending on where you are. Here's a great example. Sid sent this in from Laramie. We talk about holes and precipitation. We talk about upslope and downslope. This is a great lesson in how our terrain shapes how precipitation either will fall or will not fall. This is a radar image from the deep upslope that we had on Tuesday. And what you see Laramie there, Cheyenne's right here. You can see the precipitation, the blue representing snow, the rain just along, and of course the Laramie Range Mountains, the summit area along Interstate 80 goes right along here. So the radar is seeing the precipitation where the winds are moving from the east to the west, going up. So we always have to think in 3D with weather. So horizontally, the wind is moving east to west, but it has to climb the terrain. So you get a vertical motion, you get a lift. When you lift the atmosphere, you cool it. If there's moisture, you could condense the moisture into clouds and precipitation. So as the air comes up the Laramie Range, you get the moisture. But look at this area where there's no precipitation, right here. It's right where they decided to settle Laramie. So if you get an easterly upslope wind, it's soupy on the east side, the air is going down vertically. So there's a sinking motion in the air which suppresses. It does the opposite. Basically, as air rises, it can cool, condense. When the air sinks, it warms and dries out. And then you might say, well, why is the precipitation starting west of Laramie again? Well, if you follow the wind vector, it goes uphill again towards the east side of the Snowy Range. So you end up getting precipitation around Centennial, Lake Hattie, west of Laramie there, but you get this hole. So this happens all the time. This is why wind direction with any storm is critical to where you live in terms of where you're situated with the terrain. When we look at satellite imagery this morning, you can see how the upper level low has weakened considerably. The remnants will produce showers and thunderstorms further out east, but high pressure building into the west, a gap in the weather systems here. So you can see a lot of H's right here of the high building in. This front along the Pacific Northwest coast is really not going to go very far over the next few days. So we get the high pressure building in today, and it really builds in by the weekend. So if you follow the wind vectors, desert air gets pushed in around this high from the deserts of Southern California, the Four Corners region, the Great Basin. So you replace the air mass. So the air mass will now be a desert one, really getting going tomorrow through Sunday, probably into Monday. Here's the next low in the Gulf of Alaska, wanting to slide in towards the west coast by early next week. And we have a cutoff low, part of the same low that came here meandering along the Gulf, and that's going to produce a lot of rain down there. So southwest winds mean a big warm up. These are the forecasted high temperatures Saturday. Look at the warmth here. You're getting not only desert air, but you're getting now that downsloping effect. So look at these temperatures in Montana, the Dakotas, and the eastern Nebraska. Very pleasant 70-degree temperatures elsewhere. Sunday, even warmer. You're seeing this correctly. There could be some 90-degree temperatures up here in the Dakotas, far eastern Montana, from that desert air, downsloping conditions, and the fact the sun is higher, more sun angle, more output. So it's going to be a very warm Mother's Day weekend. When we look at the thunderstorm threat, we really don't have much activity today, but there will be some showers and thunderstorms Friday, especially over the divide and just east. So Friday afternoon, thunderstorm activity picks up a bit. Saturday, kind of spotty. There's really not a lot. And on Sunday, the thunderstorm threat has backed off a bit. But in northern Wyoming, Montana, there's going to be thunderstorms popping up. I think a bigger concern for Sunday for any outdoor activities for Mother's Day is going to be the wind. And that's in response to that low coming in. So you can see we've got some windy areas beginning to pop up. There really won't be much wind today, tomorrow, or Saturday. But Sunday, in response to that upper level low coming in, we're going to get some strong winds, and these will translate eastward Monday. So Sunday into Monday, the winds will be picking up. By Wednesday morning of next week, that west coast low is pushing in. There's still, I think, going to be some disagreement on the exact placement, and this could split into two lows. But right now, it's going to favor heavier precipitation for Montana, northern Wyoming, and the western Dakotas if it takes this particular track, with showers and thunderstorms on the bottom end of the system as it comes on through. So after the big warm-up, we're going to see a cool down again. That's going to be followed by the following weekend with another low swinging in behind it. So two weather systems to contend with next week. We'll just see where they go and how productive they may be with the precipitation. But that will cool us off again as this spring pendulum of temperature goes back and forth. Have yourself a great Thursday. We'll see you tomorrow.